Okay, I'm trying to adjust my microphone volume, folks, so if it's too loud, forgive me. I'm still playing with it. Today I gotta talk about this because my love for Asia. I've got a comment on North Korea. Now, I've never been to North Korea. I know very little about it, except that because of a tyrannical despot system, most of the people are starving to death with a complete control freak at the helm. Good old Kim Jong, 25-year-old, I think. Folks, I'm going to say something. 25 years old is too young to govern anything, let alone a country. The guy's got an ego trip. They've made comments that they'll strike Guam or strike Hawaii. They severed communications with South Korea the other day because they said, with war imminent, we don't need to talk. I don't know if this is more saber rattling rhetoric or if this guy's serious. My only thing that I can contribute to all this is, what is this going to profit Mr. Jong? Does he not realize that the U.S. has the capability to obliterate them to pieces? Stupid. And the thing that blows me away is, what are they going to do? China isn't going to be too comfortable if we start throwing hardware around, because China's their neighbor. I don't understand what it is about these tyrannical leaders that can put all their people in poverty while they themselves live the good life and live in mansions and have all the money and vehicles and food they want. What part of stupid does Jong not understand? That a free society is much better than one run by severe communism. It makes me sick when the hypocrisies. I love it when people comment about all the atrocities committed by Christianity, and I've always said, I don't know how many atrocities Christianity has committed. If you mean the Roman Catholic Church, okay, but that's not Christian. They call themselves Christian, but it is not Christian. It is Babylonian to the core. Do your research, people. Catholicism and Christianity do not add up. Christianity stands alone. Its claims are exclusive. Anything with ism on the end is something to run from. Catholicism, Mormonism, communism. We could go on and on and on. Buddhism, Shintoism, Taoism. I always say that ISM ending, pretty good chance you need to stay away from it if you're seeking truth. The thing that bothers me about communist governments is the atrocities they commit, the hypocrisy of them saying that they want to make everybody socialize, so to speak, that we all work together. There's only one problem with that. You have the top 10% controlling the 90%. The 10% lives the good life while they cause great suffering, oppression, and poverty and all kinds of ills upon the people. It's disgusting. Communism is atheism, another ism, and atheism doesn't bring any good on the world when it is running the government. We saw that in Russia. We saw that in East Germany. We see that with China. And we see that with Kim Jong and his military backup. It would be neat if North Korea could be free. I know for a fact many people in the U.S. and people in South Korea and others would run in and try to help those poor people. Unfortunately, they've been brainwashed to think their leader's a wonderful man. It's amazing how people can twist things so much and have people believing a lie. But my message to Kim Jong, as if though he's going to listen to some insignificant, small little person like me, what have you got to gain by throwing hardware around and threatening? You really think you're going to win? Personally, Mr. Jong, I wouldn't mess with the U.S. military. Barring President Obama and his lack of seeming, what's the word I'm looking for? Moral rectitude and deep strength of character involving military action, Who knows? Maybe we could get hit and he'd do nothing. But I'd like to believe that even Mr. Obama, if Kim Jong struck Guam or Hawaii, I just don't think Americans are going to sit back and say, okay, well, we'll just let that go. Sometimes the thing that awakens America quickly is when somebody does an overt act of aggression like that, and America says, hey, we need to go deal with that. Kim Jong is an arrogant, egotistical, 25-year-old immature man who is not capable of leading anything. No 25-year-old is capable of leading a nation. And I never thought I would say that. When I was in my 20s, I thought, I know what I would do if I was this and that. I'm sorry, but the older I get, wisdom comes to the older. Not always. There are some old people that act like adolescents. I see it all day long. But the thing that bothers me, young people are not qualified to lead a nation. No way, no how. So I don't understand what he's doing. I'll keep this brief. But the point is, North Korea, the leadership is going to lose should it throw any hardware around. I hope they use their brains. And I also hope that Mr. Jong would start thinking about how good he eats and how good his health is and all the money he has and start thinking, can you really justify that? And the next time, Christians, that atheists tell you that Christianity brought all these atrocities and the Crusades and the Inquisition and all this stuff, tell the atheists the following things. The Catholic Church is not Christian, though they call themselves Christian. And they call themselves Christian because they believe in some tenets of the Bible. But the Catholic Church killed real Christians, along with Jews and everybody else that didn't agree with them. The Protestants were killed left and right because they didn't submit to the Church's teaching on letting the priest read the Bible, and it had to be done in Latin so that people couldn't understand. The Catholic Church discouraged personal Bible reading and Bible study. They did not want it in the common language so that the peasants and the rest of the people that they were trying so hard to control. Catholic Church is nothing but hierarchical to the core. It is religion gone bad. And it's Babylonian in its roots. Tell the atheists that. Tell them that the Catholic Church also killed true Christians, people who said, hey, wait a minute, we don't have to submit to these priests and this stuff. We can read the Bible ourselves, and we believe in baptism by immersion, and they were killed by doing that. Anything the Catholic Church said was their law. Anybody deviated from that, they were martyred. Told to recant or martyr. Tell the atheists this. Ask them to extol the virtues of communist governments, which are atheistic to the core, and ask them to tell us what good that did for society. People tortured and killed, people caught reading the Bible, torn apart, dogs coming into the churches and the underground churches in Russia, and canines savagely tearing up people, as if worshiping God was a threat. But it is, because even the communists and the atheists deep down inside realize the last thing they want is people getting enlightened by the Bible or sitting there quietly, peacefully talking about the Bible, praying for their leaders that their eyes would be open. I can understand why they're tearing up Christians. Because even though atheists can't articulate this, we're the ones that have the power, not them. They're yelling, and their grandstanding and their protesting will be reduced to a whimper one day by the very God they claim doesn't exist. The Bible says the fool has said in his heart, there is no God. Well put, David. And the thing that bothers me is that atheists think that Christianity has brought all kinds of ills on the world. On the contrary, when true Christianity comes in, people learn manners, people learn respect, people learn not to steal. Now, I'm not saying Christians do everything right in this country, we know that, but atheism rolls in, it's like a tsunami. Destruction and wreckage all across the landscape. I will not debate atheists. I have no reason to debate them. One of my very good friends and ex-boss is an atheist, and we get along well. We don't argue. He has his beliefs, I have mine. So I don't hate atheists. But any time an atheist fellow American wants to tell you that Christianity is hypocrites and this and that, ask them about Kim Jong and his current regime. They're atheists. What are they doing about the plight of the people? Atheists complain about God having people killed in the Old Testament and this and that, but atheists ignore Kim Jong's regime and past regimes and Lenin and Stalin and all the others that just put such suffering and misery on the people while they live the good life. Atheist, how do you square with that? But this isn't about atheism, but it is about atheism because Kim Jong, he doesn't believe in God. He's the little engine that could, and he's mouthing off and grandstanding and bragging, I got a missile, nanny nanny boo boo. It's interesting. As much as I complain about certain dynamics in the U.S., you don't see our leaders bragging about our hardware. Because you know what? When you're the U.S. and you got it, you don't need to brag. The guy with the old muscle car doesn't need to brag about what's under the hood. People that know muscle cars know what he's got under the hood. That's all that matters. It's like guys bragging about how long their sex organ is between their legs. Interesting. That's not something I've ever discussed. It's nobody's business. Guy's got to brag about how long his wiener is. Chances are he's very, very insecure. My point in all of this? Kim Jong is a blowhard and he's nothing but insecure. He looks disciplined, he stands very much at attention, but he's an insecure little man and he wants to make it loud and clear that he can take care of the U.S. and everybody else. I don't think so, Mr. Jong. I don't think so. This is Pacific, signing off. On that doubt, sayonara.